I am Madhavi, and today I am here to speak about something that I have perhaps never spoken about in public, but for my home periods. Very simply put out, a period is the flow of blood from a woman's uterus out through her vagina. This means that a woman has either gone to the end of her puberty, or this means that the egg has not gotten fertilized, due to which the flow of blood is taking place. However, in our country, it is said to be the beginning of a new woman's life. To me, this was a very lame idea. However, for my grandmother and my mother and my entire family, it was the biggest celebration at home after generations and generations. Simply because I was a girl who is now becoming a woman. And with this came in a lot of rules and regulations, which I termed to be taboos. However, for my family, it was just any other custom that we are following today. Now, very simply put out, some of these rules were: don't touch the pickle, it's going to get spoiled. Don't go there, you're impure. Don't go to the temple, you're impure. Don't touch the clothes because, the energies in you are not good, so you're not supposed to touch it. To me, this was the most lame thing that I heard, because it never had any logical explanation behind this. And to me, the only question that eventually came into my head was, is it really worth following them? The answer to this was as blank as the screen. I didn't have an answer at all. However, as I am an inquisitive 12-year-old, I started Googling every single taboo as per me, which was a custom for my family. For example, when it came to not entering the kitchen, I realized that during a period cycle, because a woman is going through a lot of emotional, physical, mental, and hormonal changes, with Gen Z terms as mood swings, we are not supposed to give that amount of energy to our body or sit and do so much of work that it's going to have a very bad repercussion on our body. Similarly, when it came to the pickle, so as I stated, you go through a lot of physical changes, which includes some changes in the digestive system. Very simply put out, it can lead to acidity or even gastric issues, which might lead to a lot of problems considering you already have cramps. Now, I forgot to mention, however, there's a very famous taboo at my home, which is to not wash your hair till the 4th day of your period cycle. I never understood the reason behind this. However, when my brain again researched via Google, I realized that when you take a bath during your period cycle, especially if it is a shower, it can lead to the relaxations of certain muscles, which can lead to a lot of cramps which are already existing in our body, right? Now, after finding so many explanations, I realized that the debates that we are having today with respect to menstrual leaves, with respect to anything for that matter which is related to menstruation, is actually something that we've been following for so many years in our country itself. I agree there are a lot of eyebrows raised the minute I told this. However, if we sit and realize all these taboos that are stated here that we are following today is actually very scientific and very logical. But the way it's been put forward leads it to being a narrative which obviously no one's going to follow. Now, when I pondered upon a little bit more, I realized that these debates actually are practices that are being followed in the traditional method in many countries. For example, in Japan, there is an office where a woman can go to a separate room, which we call isolation during periods, and they can actually sit and work there, and they're given all the facilities, which includes getting a hot water bottle, which includes having a pure day, just sitting on a beanbag and working. But this is exactly what we've been following in our culture for so many years as isolation. Now, considering all this, there was this thought that provoked in my head, which basically said, I will follow what I want to if I feel it has a logical reason and it has a logical explanation. So eventually, the thing that we are coming across over here is, while some of them are for the benefit of the society, the way it is interpreted leads to it being a fractured narrative, which leads to it being called a taboo. Hence, and therefore, understanding taboos is more important before labeling them a taboo. Thank you.